Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in, and we'll start in another 5 minutes, and we'll let everyone else also join, and we'll start at 11. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in. I hope I am visible and audible clearly. If yes, please drop a thumbs up in the chat box if you can see me and hear me clearly. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining in. And meanwhile, we wait for other attendees also to join. We can utilize this time to get to know each other a little better. Yes. So, hi, everyone. So, may I know which part of India you belong to, or which city are you from? And probably we can just get to know how are you doing? How's your Saturday going? Any plans for the weekend? All right, Shushank has dropped a thumbs up emoji in the chat box. Thank you, Shushank. I hope I'm visible and audible clearly. So, Shushank, which city are you from? I'll go first. Hello, everyone. I am Simran and I'm from Hyderabad. All right. Shushank is saying that he's from Delhi. Hi, Shushank. Hi, welcome for today's session. Thank you for joining in. Yes, Harika is saying hello from Hyderabad. Hi Harika, how are you? I hope everything's going good on your end. All right, I think we can get started then. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in on Saturday morning, and welcome for today's session. And we can now get going. And Welcome to everyone, and these sessions we have been conducting ever since the launch of Daily Bloom IBS, and successfully we have conducted over 100 sessions like these. Sometimes they are more about nutrition, sometimes they are more around psychology, sometimes they are also about yoga and overall well-being. So make sure you are there till last because Will today will be busting some of the biggest myths in IBS and sharing some of the doable tips on how to manage this festive season and related flare-ups. So thank you everyone for joining in. So before we get started, I want to ask the attendees today, are there any flare ups which you have experienced because of festive treats, be it can be your favorite dessert or snack? If yes, please drop a fire icon emoji in comment or you can just simply type yes. Alright. Yes, if you have suffered or if you have faced these IBS flare up, please drop a yes in the comment section. Harika says yes. Okay, Harika, I'm sure that by today's session, by the end of today's session, you'll definitely have some tips on how to manage your IBS flare ups in a better way. And Shashank has also dropped a fire icon emoji in the comment section. Uh, Shashank, I'm sure that the amazing panelists that we have today shall be sharing some of effective strategies that we can use in order to manage these flare ups. So let's get started then. So what is this gut health index is? So the gut health score has been designed by Dr. Reddy's in-house gastroenterologist, team of nutritionists, psychologists and yoga expert. This gut health score gives us an insight about how's your gut health like, and a score of less than 40 indicates that your gut health is suffering and asking for immediate relief. So you can simply scan the QR code being shown on my screen. My team has also dropped the link of gut health score in the chat box. You can click on that link also to check your gut health score. So I want everyone, all the attendees, to please check your gut health score and let's see where your gut health actually stands for. And let me tell you, a score of 80 to 90 actually means that your gut health is doing well. All right.
Let me just add on to here while our participants are taking the score. The score is very crucial to understand where, or like you truly said, that the gut health lies actually, right? So when we see somebody whose score is lesser than 40, it means that they need immediate attention. I hope everybody is taking the score and putting it in the chat box.
Yes, so I see Harika has already taken her gut health score and her score came 56. Alright, Harika need not worry. A score of 56 definitely indicates that there is a potential for improving it. And yes, we can take you from a score of anywhere less than 40 to up to 80 and 90. Be sure you are there till the end of the webinar because we'll be also sharing some of the stories where patients have taken their gut health score from 32 in week 1 up till 80 to 90. So, yes, so Shashank says that his score has come less than 40. Shashank is also saying that he is worried now. Shashank need not worry. Uh, we can definitely help you out here and help you manage your gut health in a more holistic manner. And yes, so thank you everyone for taking the gut health score. And yes, so how will you be benefited from today's session? We have experts on IBS, and today you'll be also learning about tips how to manage your flare ups better and certain trigger elimination, which are one of the biggest culprits seen in IBS. We'll be also talking about stress management and how gut cleanse is very, very essential when it comes to IBS and gut health related journey. And there's a fun trivia round also there. So make sure you are there to answer the question, because the attendees or the respondents who get their answer right will also be receiving a free recipe booklet from our team. So make sure you are there for the trivia round. Alright, Harsh has also taken his score and his score has come 65. Harsh, need not worry, we have our amazing panelist today, Ms. Dhruvisha, and she can definitely help and guide you how you can improve and you can change your gut health score towards more of overall well-being. All right, I'll just quickly introduce myself. I'm Simran, and by profession, I am a clinical nutritionist. And today, I'll be the moderator for this session. Sometimes you'll be seeing me moderating these sessions. Sometimes I'm the panelist as well. And today we have Ms. Dhruvisha as a lead coach nutritionist. She'll be addressing most of your queries, your doubts, and how you can manage your flare ups better. By profession, Dhruvi is a registered dietitian. She is also a FODMAP nutritionist, and so far, Dhruvi has counseled over 2,000 patients of IBS and gut health. Thank you so much, Dhruvi, for joining in. And we know how occupied you are, but thank you for joining and sharing your valuable insights with our audience today. Yes, so why do gut health matters and why gut health has all of a sudden become the new buzzword of the industry? Dhruvi, can you help us understand why are we talking so much about gut health at present and how it is related to IBS?
Thank you for the introduction, Simran. So the word door says it all. So door basically is the barrier to let the good in and keep the bad out, right? So it's the same when it comes to gut. In the gut as well, there's a barrier that is the door to health, which serves a critical gateway to rest of the body, influencing certain aspects of health. One of the main role is nutrient absorption. So the gut breakdown breaks down the food into vitamins, minerals, protein, etc. for body's energy. So that is one of the role of the gut. Second is immune system regulation. Gut is the house to approximately 70% of body's immune cell. So it also maintains our immune system. Apart from that, detoxifying, so keeping out the toxins and letting in the nutrients. Apart from that, there's gut brain axis. So your gut also plays a crucial role wherein your gut is connected to your mind and it sends cues to your mind, and mind in turn also responds back to gut, and hence it is also known as a second mind. Gut is known as the second mind. It also prevents inflammation and disease prevention, etc.
Thank you, Dhruvi. Definitely, when we say all diseases begin in gut and ends in gut, that definitely underscores the importance of how gut is actually the doorway to your body. So I want to ask all the attendees today that since IBS involves a lot of digestion or gut related symptoms as well as non gut related symptoms, so what would an IBS symptom free life look for you? A, improved work productivity, improve presentism at work, or B, you want to have better relationship with your friends, family, intimate or be platonic. C, to have more energy and freedom to live or travel and do what you want. So I want to ask the attendees if you visualize what an IBS symptom-free life look for you. What will be your visualization or idea be? Option A is improve work productivity. Option B is better relationships. Option C is improved energy. So can I hear from all the attendees in the chat box? You can drop your answers in the chat box, and we would love to hear what are your goals and what visualization is that resonates with you. Shashank says C, improved energy, and yes. So thank you, Shashank, and definitely this Dhruvisha can take you to that more energetic life where you can travel fearlessly and can do things which you always wanted to do. Harsh Singh is also saying improved energy and the ability to socialize and travel fearlessly. Thank you, Sashank. Thank you, Harsh, for your answers. And definitely, in today's session, we'll be learning upon how we can improve it better. Karthik is saying improve work productivity. Thank you, everyone, for your answers, and let's get going. So, Dhruvi, can you help us understand what is actually IBS and what are the related symptoms?
So IBS, also known as irritable bowel syndrome, a lot of people are confused when they face symptoms like abdominal pain, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, etc. They get confused that is it a simple gut issue which can be solved by a simple home remedy, or is it something else? Most of these symptoms are indicative of IBS, and a gastroenterologist will help in diagnosing it. But let's understand a little bit about what IBS is. So, it is a gastrointestinal disorder which is characterized by the symptoms that I just spoke about. Altered bowel habits for over 6 months is one of the major one of the major concern that you should be looking at. And the causes of it are multiple. It could be either gut-brain axis disruption, or the gut microbiome imbalance. There could be food sensitivities, infections, there could be stress and anxiety as well, or just simple irregular sleep cycle, your water intake, or the physical activity. So these all can lead to IBS, and 75% of Indians do lack medical diagnosis for it. And sadly, in India, the concept of IBS is mostly taken up as normal stomach issue.
Yes. Yes, Dhruvi, definitely. I think IBS goes largely undiagnosed, and a lot of people are not aware that they might be having IBS because given the symptoms are so generalized. So, Dhruvi, a lot of time people comes to us and ask that, hey, it's a very serious disease. Will we ever be able to recover? What are the challenges that we'll be facing? So, can you please elaborate or dig deeper into this?
Right. So IBS is not a disease, it is a chronic gut health issue which can be managed easily. So generally what happens is upon consuming high FODMAP food, which are poorly absorbed in the gut and moves to the intestine. So IBS definitely is something which is manageable and is nothing alarming, but when you are in touch with a proper medical team or a healthcare team, IBS is definitely manageable.
Yes, thank you, Dhruv, for that. So I want to ask the audience, the attendees itself today, that how is IBS impacting your life at present? Because a lot of time IBS leads to poor quality of life, and there can be a lot of areas where it is impacting. So I want to hear from the attendees. You can drop your answers in the chat box that how IBS at present is impacting you. So, for some of the patients with whom we have interacted so far, they say they have missed some of the special functions or occasion. They missed out on interacting with their loved ones because they feared what if the IBS flare ups come up. Does any of you resonate with this one point here that because of IBS you missed out on attending certain special function or occasions? If yes, please drop a thumbs up emoji or icon in the comment box. You can just simply type the impact area. Second is, are you not able to travel anymore because of the constant worry and fatigue that is involved? Because the patients with whom we have interacted so far, they always come and tell that there is always a worry that we'll not be able to find the restroom near to us, so better not to travel. So, does any of you resonate with this? If yes, please drop a thumbs up emoji in the comment or write travel. Third, very prominently seen is that embarrassed in workplace because of frequent bathroom breaks, and due to which it leads to absenteeism also from the work and also poor work productivity. In fact, Dhruvi, some of our patients have also stated that because of this, they were forced to give up on their jobs or opt for work from home sort of a jobs, and thus it impacted their career as well, right?
Right. So there was this one interesting case. So there was a 24-year-old guy. and he was preparing for his NEET exams, and he sadly had to give up on it because of his severity of conditions. He couldn't, study or couldn't focus. But then he joined the Daily Bloom, and his symptoms were up to 70%. They were managed, and he interestingly resumed his studies again nearly after 8 months, and he could appear in his exams because he felt like while giving exams, if he had to go to the loo too many times, he wouldn't be able to, concentrate. So that's a very important aspect of our life which is affected.
Yes, Dhruvi, and definitely a lot of time people don't realize that how challenging IBS can be, and thus having the right strategies are very, very important. So, Dhruvi, can you help us understand from the scientific aspect that because a lot of time we're talking about the imbalance of bacteria or how IBS and bacteria count as related. So, can you please help us elaborate and understand a little better?
Right. So whenever there is IBS, there's mainly dysbiosis which is observed. So what does dysbiosis mean? One, there's a imbalance of good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. Right. So what happens is the bad bacteria mainly, the good bacteria mainly aids in digestion, nutrient synthesis. It supports your immune system, or like we spoke about the gut barrier or the door, basically it helps in building that, right? It also helps in regulating your mood. But now when the bad bacteria, the presence of it increases, it causes infection, it produces toxins, it causes triggers, inflammation, right? And that's the reason why IBS flare up or IBS symptoms are quite often observed. So managing this gut dysbiosis will lead to improved quality of life, would lead to betterment of the entire gut health.
Okay. In that case, Dhruvi, what should be the key areas that an IBS patient should look out for? What are the exact triggers which one can pinpoint and go ahead there?
Right. So, first and foremost, the very important is food, because many of the time we do understand that food is one of the trigger, but we don't know exactly how it is causing a trigger. So, to understand how your gut is reacting to high FODMAP food or the low FODMAP food, or what kind of food are triggers for you. So that is one important thing. Second is stress, definitely. So if you're stressed or if you're constantly thinking about something, definitely reduce in concentration, or you would see that you're not very happy at workspace, you're always irritable. So that is something which helps. So practicing yoga or meditation would definitely help. So the wellness coach here plays a very important role in letting giving certain activities to manage stress. And third is definitely the infection, like we spoke about, that there's a barrier, and if there's increased bad bacteria, or when there's dysbiosis, the infection would also increase, and that could lead to an episode or a trigger.
Definitely. Then in that case, Dhruvi, if we want to elaborate a little bit more on food, since our this session is more focused on the nutritional aspect, so can you help us understand how and what food option we should actually avoid or take in IBS?
Right. So FODMAP, like I spoke about, high FODMAP food affects the quality of life. So FODMAP means fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. So what happens is, upon consuming these high FODMAP food, they are very poorly absorbed in the gut, and it moves on to the intestine. Now, intestine is not the place where digestion actually takes place, but here, when it was not absorbed correctly in the gut and moves to the intestine, the digestion or the breakdown happens here, and it stays for a longer period of time. Now, because of it, it causes these symptoms to occur, like bloating, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pain, etc. Now, this not only affects physically but also emotionally and psychologically. So, physical impact could be a chronic pain or discomfort, and you wouldn't know because these are sudden occurrences. right? They're very exhausting at times. It could also lead to sleep disturbances. Emotionally, like I said, stress and anxiety, the gut brain axis is hampered, and it causes social anxiety, or worrying during when you're at work, etc. So it also affects the productivity, like I spoke about, absenteeism, the focus is reduced, the concentration is reduced. These are the things that affect when it comes to quality of life.
Okay, definitely, Dhruvi. I think a lot of times some of the harmless food also turn as triggers in IBS, and a lot of time people don't realize it. So, what are the right alternatives of food soaps which we can actually do when it comes to low versus high FODMAPs?
Right. So as mentioned, wheat can be switched and can be switched by either rice, sabudana, millets, maida could be rice noodles, beetroot could be carrot, and shallot could be replaced by green tops of spring onion. There are multiple food options when it comes to low FODMAP, and a lot of switches that we can do.
Yes, and that is what Daily Bloom IBS has been doing for over a year now. And we have been helping patients in order to understand what is the Indianized version of low FODMAP. Because a lot of time on internet, on Google, if you go, there are researchers who are working on FODMAP. But sadly, in India, the research is very, very limited. So that is where the Daily Bloom IBS team comes in. So yes, moving ahead, Dhruvi, since this is a festive season and we have been, there must be some overindulgence as well at times. We'll be eating outside, going for dinners, restaurants, and partying outside. So, what points should we keep in mind from that perspective? And can you also help us with few dessert and snack option that one can actually look out for when it comes to IBS?
Definitely. For me as well, when I see sweets or these snacks, Diwali snacks, they're very tempting, right? But considering one's health, we should, instead of skipping it altogether, we can just do healthy replacements. So instead of the fried matri, we can do baked matri, rice kheer, or even it could be like laddus. There are besan laddus that are made at my home also, but we have switched to millet laddu, which is much more healthier version than of a besan. Then roasted makhana, or other thing could be a makhana kheer as well. That is something which can be made. Banana chips, or even roasted chivdas, or there are these sakar paras or the namkeen paras that are basically like a Diwali snack, right? So we can just switch and make it into baked rather than frying it, and with a gluten-free flour. So it tastes as good as the namkeen paras that we make. We can also replace like besan laddus by coconut laddus, or it could also be peanut chicky. Or to swap, we can also do almond flour halwa, which I recently tried, and it tastes really good, like a barfi made out of coconut milk and jaggery. So skipping on to the Diwali, like the sweets, and just taking a healthier version could let you enjoy the food and also face minimal symptoms, right?
Yeah, now I think all the recipes and the ingredient list which you have shared, Dhruvi, it's very mouth-watering. And yes, let's just get into like a fun trivia round now, and let's see how has our audience know the right answers, and we'll be also sharing a free recipe booklet for the right responding. So make sure you drop your answers in the chat box because the attendees will be receiving a free recipe booklet. Yes, so the first question we have on screen is which of these is an IBS friendly alternative? On left hand side you have cashews, on right hand side you have peanuts. So which of these is an IBS friendly alternative? Cashews or peanuts? Please drop your answer in the chat box. Let me quickly check and see who have got their answers right. And yes, meanwhile, I think we have received a lot of questions in the chat box. Dhruvi, probably we can take it in the end of the session when we are done. So make sure you are there till end because we'll be addressing all your doubts and all your queries. So Harika says peanuts. Peanuts is the right alternative in IBS. How about others? How about other respondents? All right. Dhruvi, I think we can take one question given the time while
Definitely.
everyone answers. Okay, Harika has asked that can we enjoy or take kaju katli or son papri when it comes to IBS?
Okay, so kaju or cashew. Okay, so that's like an answer to the question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so cashew basically is high in FODMAP.
Okay.
Even a small serving of cashew could lead to a trigger for some people because these fermentable sugars that are present in cashews, oligosaccharides, and polyols could lead to triggers like bloating and gas. So if you're taking a Kaju Katri, that would probably not suit by your gut. But instead, I can give a switch wherein there are almond katris that are being made. So they do taste similar to kaju, but they're made out of almonds. So maybe that could be an alternative that can be taken in place of kaju katri.
Yeah, uh, definitely, Dhruvi. I think in that way we have already revealed the answer for this question.
Yeah.
And Harika is on the right path. She has said peanuts is the safer alternative. So, Harika, you are eligible to receive the free recipe booklet. Congratulations. And the last question we have is which of these is an IBS friendly alternative? Papayas or watermelons? Please drop your answers in the chat box. Would love to hear from all of you. Okay. Shashank says papaya is an IBS friendly alternative. How about others? How about the rest? Is papaya an IBS friendly alternative or watermelon? Ravi, I think a lot of time, especially in IBS, people feel their diet has become very, very restrictive, especially when it comes to fruits, because almost every other fruit is causing them IBS flare ups. So, other than the listed option on a screen, what right swaps we can actually go for when it comes for fruit in IBS?
Right. So there are multiple options. It could be banana, it could be oranges, kiwi, dragon fruit, blueberries. It could also be passion fruit. There are certain fruits which are okay to consume, but in a specific quantity, right? So portion size is very important when it comes to any food in IBS. There are few fruits that you can take up to 30 grams, up to 40 grams, so those are also IBS friendly, and I think a fruit bowl is something that everybody would love. So adding multiple fruits to the diet is a simple switch that everybody can do. And to answer the question, papaya is also a low FODMAP food that can be added. Now, here papaya contains this enzyme papain, which actually aids in digestion or breakdown of protein, and hence there is it helps in easing the bloating and discomfort that is faced. So, approximately 100 to 150 grams of papaya is something the serving size that a person can take, wherein watermelon is high in FODMAP due to a presence of polyol in it. Okay, so it generally leads to bloating and diarrhea. So definitely papaya is the correct answer here.
All right. Thank you, Dhruvi, for that. And I think since we just passed summer season, a lot of our patients were eating watermelon and mangoes and were facing flare-ups. So I think doing this simple switch can help them and save them from those IBS certain flare-ups. So, Dhruvi, what should be the actionables or what should be the next steps for the IBS patients out there?
Right. So I would want the audience to answer this. Consider a lake which is dirty and muddy, and there's no fish growing in that lake, but you want the regrowth of fish. What would you do? Would you like just add or restock the fishes there, or would you just clean it and then add the fishes so that they flourish?
Yes, please, attendees, please put your answers in the chat box, and we are ensuring that we can make this session as engaging as possible. So, once in a while, you'll see me or Dhruvi zipping in and out in order to hear from the audience also. So please drop your answers in the chat box. And yes, so Dhruvi, what should be the right approach here?
So it is very simple. You just take out what is polluted, and then you would see like an immediate, response to it. It's the same when it comes to our gut. So managing our triggers is much more important than just managing your symptoms. Because why the symptom is occurring, to know that and manage that is more important than to just jump on to just managing your symptoms after it occurs, right? So removing all the triggers is the first step. Now we cannot possibly know at the beginning what are the triggers, right? So whatever I mentioned, the high FODMAP food, which are triggers, generally it could also be fried food or spicy food or outside food. So make sure that you're removing all these triggers which would lead to cleansing of the gut. Okay, once the gut is cleansed, then we move on to the next step in identifying triggers in a specific way. Once we know that these are the IBS triggers, or these are the food, or maybe stress, or any other thing, XYZ thing is causing these triggers, that's when we will be able to manage a lot better, because we know, okay, this is something, or skipping of meals is something that is giving me a trigger, or having, say, any of the high FODMAP food or having wheat is my trigger. So I know that I need to replace wheat and I need to look for other options and add that in the meal plan, so that there is minimal symptoms that are observed.
So, Dhruvi, in that way, I think gut cleanse is the stepping stone for any of the IBS patients out there before they actually start experimenting around the portion size or start identifying their triggers, right?
Definitely. So, if the stomach already, if you're taking a high FODMAP food and is the stomach is already irritated, and that's when you try adding on to new food, it could cause more of a trigger. A simple analogy could be if there's a bonfire and if there's sparks, and that's when you add petrol to it, it's just gonna light up, right? But when it is completely out and then you put whatever you want, nothing is gonna happen to that fire. So that's how it works when it comes to gut also. So gut cleanse or cleaning of the gut is very important.
Yes, thank you, Dhruvi, for that analogy and how and why the gut cleanse is actually required when it comes to IBS patient. So, with all the attendees, I just want to share a quick glance, a quick few data points of our patients who have completed 4 weeks of gut cleanse in our program. 80% of patients have reported that their bloating has gone down, 70% reduction in abdominal pain, and 65% reduction in constipation, and 78% reduction in diarrhea. And all of these factors, if you see, and all of these reduction in their symptoms is uh, has been achieved by combined therapies, combined principles that I'll be talking about in my further slide. So I just want to share a quick relief story here of a 40-year-old homemaker from Hyderabad. Before she joined our program, her gut health score was merely 32. For those who have not taken their gut health score, my team has already dropped the link in the chat box. So make sure you click on the link and check your gut health score for completely free of cost. So when she came to us, her gut health score was 32, and she came to us predominantly with problems of constipation, loss of appetite, bloating, and gas. And because of IBS and flare up, she thought that probably I need to give up on non vegetarian food because eggs or chicken might be triggering my problem more. And along with that, she lost interest in life, and she was having poor or strained relationship with her family and kids as well. So slowly and steadily, when she came to our program, the very first thing that we did with her was a gut cleanse, and within a period of 4 weeks, her constipation issue was resolved almost by 60 to 65%, and slowly and steadily her appetite also improved. She was able to eat foods or enjoy foods which she liked, and along with that, her relationship with friends and family also improved. So definitely you can also be part of one of these IBS relief stories. So today you have your choice of wellness. Choice number one you have is to figure out and try various options, but again end up in trial and error cycle, which is very frustrating. Or you have choice two, to make the right choices for your gut health by following an expert backed approach. So I want to hear from all the attendees which of these choices you want to take up. Choice one, to end up in a frustrating cycle and do a trial and error, or choice two, where you know the right approach is there and the right people, the right experts are there to help you out in your journey. So please drop your answers in the chat box. I want to hear from all the attendees which of these choices you want to make today. All right. Yes, so Harika says she wants to make choice two today. Thank you, Harika, and congratulations that you are making the right choice today. And I'm glad you are seeking out for help, because at times seeking out for help is not an easier option. And a lot of people think that is a sign of weakness, but no. Asking for help means that you are not giving up and you definitely want to improve your overall gut health. Shashank also is making today choice too. Congratulations, Shashank, and thank you for making the choice too. And definitely, we can improve, we can manage our IBS symptoms better with the right approach, right science, and right experts. So, for this, today we are introducing the 4 week of gut cleanse program. The 4 week of gut cleanse program is your first stepping stone to understand what works for you and what does not to reduce your IBS symptoms. Will be cleansing your gut entirely, as our amazing panelist Ms. Dhruvi Shah has already stated the importance how gut cleanse is very crucial when it comes to starting your relief journey of IBS. So gut cleanse is the very first thing which one should undergo. So, what does this 4 weeks of gut cleanse involve? These 4 weeks of gut cleanse have been divided into two phases. The phase one is a discovery phase where it is all about understanding the patient, understanding you at a deeper and a holistic level. So, here the nutritionist get connected with you. She does your detailed dietary recall in order to understand what are your food likes and dislikes, what are your geographical preferences, and along with that, we also take a clear note of your medical history, because a lot of time we get people other than IBS who have other conditions, like some wants to lose weight, some wants to gain weight, some have diabetes condition, or some have PCOS or PCOD. So we try and help them manage those conditions as well as along with IBS. But a primary goal here is to manage your IBS symptoms better. So once we are done with phase one of discovery, we go to phase two of gut cleanse. So gut cleanse is where we are removing all possible sort of triggers from your diet or the foods which are causing you IBS related flare-ups like constipation, diarrhea, abdominal pain, or bloating or gas. So in these 4 weeks, what actually happens? So once we are done taking your detailed dietary recall, the nutritionists take 2 to 3 days of time. Once they have designed your plan based on your requirements, your goals, and your needs, the plan reflects on the application, and in that plan you also get to see the recipes of particular meal. You can click on those meals, see the recipe, write portion size, and once you are done with 1 week of your plan, you get your first nutritionist call, and that's where you talk about what were the challenges or what was your improvement after following a 1 week plan. So this goes on for 4 weeks. So in that case, every week you're interacting with a nutritionist, and along with that we also work on stress management. So here you'll be interacting with wellness coaches as well once in 2 weeks, and along with that we are also focusing on overall well-being and physical activity. So that is why we also have yoga modules, live sessions. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when we are keeping all these yoga sessions. And along with that, we also give you detailed report on your symptoms once we are done with 4 weeks of this program. So what you get after following all these 4 weeks? You get reduction in your symptoms which has been troubling you for your life, elimination of some of the most naive and harmless trigger food items which you're not even aware of, and to experience the relief and rediscover yourself. You'll be able to visit social occasions, travel, and work seamlessly. And all of this is possible by a science backed approach which is powered by Dr. Reddy's. And let me tell you, the patients who came to us with problems of bloating, diarrhea, constipation, initially the problem was up to 5 times in a week, but just after following these 4 weeks, the right approaches, following the right stress management, right diet, right yoga, the problem was reduced to 2 times in a week. So, to how to feel healthier and happier, you today we launch our special limited time offer for all the attendees who have joined us today. You can experience this 4 weeks of gut cleanse at rupees just 2499. That's the minimal cost today which you pay to get relief from these symptoms which have been troubling you. My team has also dropped the payment link in the chat box. You can click on the link and make the payment. 2499 is all you need to pay. Since it's a festive season, October is a month of celebration, a lot of festivities. This is a limited time offer which Dr. Reddy's team has launched. My team has already dropped the link in the chat box. You can simply click on the link, enter your phone number, name, and details, and a QR code will reflect. I'll also give you a quick run through of how you can access the link. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. If yes, please just say yes in the comment box. So you can write your name and number here. And all you need to do is click on the checkout page. The coupon code is pre-applied. And just click on the checkout portal and a Razor Pay link will come. And you can scan the QR code to make the payment. And this QR code will be valid only and only for 12 minutes. So make sure you finish off the payment within those 12 minutes. So, yes, and this special festive discount is only valid for another 10 minutes because we'll be wrapping the session by 12. So, make sure you take the advantage of this special festive season offer. And we have only and only special 30 seats for this program. And let me tell you, all sessions, be it psychology, be it wellness, be it nutritionist, are live one-on-one sessions. So you can freely discuss whatever your problems have been so far. You can discuss your challenges or what transformation journey you actually want to go on. So meanwhile, you make the use of the payment link, you click on the checkout box, we can take a few questions. So I request all the attendees to drop their questions in the chat box, and Dhruvi Shah will be taking it up one by one. So Dhruvi, I think we have received a lot of questions, so I'll take it one by one from the top. So Karthik initially asked Dhruvi, what do we mean by mood regulation when we were talking about gut is the door to your body or how gut health matters?
Right. So, like I said, that gut plays a very significant role, and there's a very strong connection with your gut, right? So now, what happens in mood regulation? Basically, your brain, like whenever there's a symptom that happens, right? So your stomach is upset, or you have to go to the loo a lot of times. You sort of are irritated at that time, and you cannot think straight, or you often get distracted. There's a lot of confusion that happens. So basically that's how your gut is regulating your mood, because there's a connection between the two, that if your gut is upset, it affects your brain, and it is also vice versa, wherein you're thinking about something, or you're anxious about something, or just a simple example that you're going to enter a very important meeting. So that's when your stomach starts to feel upset. So that's how it is interconnected, and that's the reason how why your gut regulates your mood. And practicing simple activities given by the wellness coach, be it mindfulness, or be it certain exercises. There are certain therapies like CBT therapy, etc., can help in managing this and your gut not affecting your mood.
Yes, exactly, Dhruvi. I think, in fact, when it comes to IBS, the stress and mood plays a major important role, and a lot of people get stuck in stress symptom cycle. So that is where the importance of wellness coaches, psychologists come, because they can really help you out to come out of that frustrating, vicious cycle of stress symptom. And that is why we always tell patient that nutrition or diet is one piece of the puzzle, and you also need to take care of your mental well-being. So thank you Dhruvi for that answer. And next we have Harika has asked us that how can we know what will trigger us. That's a very interesting question, Harika. Thank you for that. So yeah, Dhruvi, how can we actually know what will trigger us?
Absolutely, a really good question, because at times when we, like I said, when we consume certain things, when our gut is already affected, and we would not really know why the trigger is happening. Was it because of something that we're already eating, or we just ate, right? So the entire journey, the 14 weeks, is divided in that way, wherein to understand about your triggers. So, to understand, first, there has to be a gut cleanse wherein you're facing minimal symptoms to no symptoms. And that's when we start to reintroduce food. So, in the first 4 weeks after the gut cleanse, there's a 6 weeks of reintroduction, like you explained, Simran. So, in that, we will add one food item at a time to understand that particular food is a trigger or not. And it is in a very uh, uh, in a way that we know that this food in certain amount is affecting or not, right? So that's what we will be doing in reintroduction. For example, we start with wheat. It's not like we start an entire serving. It is in a proper way and in a increasing quantity. So to understand how much quantity is actually affecting your gut, or is wheat actually affecting, or you can simply take an entire portion without facing a symptom. So that's the importance of gut cleanse and the reintroduction phase, to understand about your triggers and tolerances a lot more better.
All right. Thank you, Dhruvi, for that answer. And I want to let all the attendees know that we're already booked with 11 seats. And welcome, Shashank, welcome, Harika, to the Daily Bloom IBS program. And yes, so Dhruvi, the next question we have is, but everyone has stress. Why do I have IBS? That's, I think, again a very interesting question. And a lot of time people ask that. We have stress on our, like, everyone has stress, and probably their work is something that actually adds to stress, but everyone is experiencing them. Why do I develop symptoms of IBS because of this?
Right. So it's not just stress that is contributing to IBS. So IBS is not actually completely understood. And there could be multiple factors that could lead to IBS, because it's a complex disorder, right? It could be a combination of genetics, environment, psychology, or food, or biological. So we've been talking about the altered gut brain axis that plays a very major role whenever the connection between the gut and digestion or the digestive system is altered. That's when your stress, or there could be emotional disturbances which can worsen the IBS symptoms. So it's not stress which is leading to IBS, but there's an underlying issue already present, and stress is causing trigger, or stress is aggravating the condition basically.
All right, Ravi. I think a lot of time people feel that stress is something which they can manage and they don't really need an expert opinion on that. And a lot of time taking an approach which is scientific, which is validated, and someone who knows exactly how they can manage or give you the right coping mechanism becomes very, very crucial. So I want the attendees to know that we are booked with almost 25 seats now, and it's another 5 minutes to go, and we are left with five more seats. So make sure you click on the link which my team has shared in the chat box. And if you have any doubts, any questions, please drop it in the chat box. Our panelists will be taking it up. So feel free to drop your question in the chat box. And let me tell you, no question is stupid or no question is small or big. Whatever doubts you have, this is your place, this is your spot, this is your time. So please make sure you drop your questions in the chat box. So Dhruvi, I think a lot of people come and ask us about milk and IBS. I think that's a very, very popular question which we have received in most of these session or that we have heard from a patient. So what's your take on that?
Right. So milk is something which is not well tolerated by the gut. All right. And it leads to certain symptoms like bloating, gas, diarrhea, mainly, which is observed. So now, a simple thing that we could do is switch into IBS friendly, alternative, because the presence of lactose, which is a type of sugar that is really difficult to digest. So a simple switch to either oats milk or almond milk or lactose free milk could definitely help in managing the symptoms a lot better. It's not specific that milk is a trigger for everybody. It could be for some, but some could very well tolerate milk. Even in milk, there's plain milk, there's buttermilk, there's curd, there's paneer, a lot of milk products, right? So for some, they could manage and eat curd in a full portion versus when it comes to plain milk or paneer, they may not be able to tolerate that, and that's the reason why the reintroduction phase helps us understand about our triggers a lot better.
Okay. Yes, Joey, I think milk is something which is very dear to Indians, especially given the importance. And every time our parents have reinstigated us to drink milk every time before going to bed or before leaving to school. So I think more than the nutritional value, it has become a part of our culture now, and that is why a lot of people have trouble to understand that milk can also act as a trigger for them when it comes to IBS. So, how about Dhruvi? Some of the pulses. Can you tell which can be IBS friendly, or how we can make it IBS friendly? Because I'm sure that there are certain cooking methods and strategy that one can use in order to ensure that the particular dal becomes more easier to digest and gut friendly.
Right. So, moong dal or the yellow moong dal or the green moong dal is something which is low FODMAP and one can absolutely enjoy that. But when it comes to pulses like rajma or chickpeas is something which is high in FODMAP and generally everybody faces a symptom after eating that. Right. Now, a simple cooking method when it comes to other dals apart from these chole, rajma, so pressure cooking it or sprouting it could regain its nutritive value, could help in regaining the nutritive value of that specific pulse or the dal that they're consuming, and it would reduce the symptoms. So that's a very simple, technique that can be followed, or simply a switch to lower FODMAP dals, like all the lentils are something that one can definitely enjoy. Another thing is urad dal or the arhar dal that is in specific quantity, a person will not face symptoms when these switches are done.
All right, I think that was really really helpful, Ravi. And I think we are done for the day then. And my team will be also dropping our community link in the chat box, because these webinars, these sessions are happening every other week. And so make sure you are there for the psychology ones, the yoga ones, which are absolutely completely free of course. So you can click on the community link, be a part of this strong knitted network where we talk about how you can manage your IBS better, what are the right relief strategies, right alternative. So make sure you click on the link and be a part of that WhatsApp community. And we are done. We have sold out almost 28 seats today for the gut cleanse. Those who were not able to join, or those who were not able to make the payment now, my team has already shared the link in the chat box. Make sure you click on the link, make the payment, and be a part of 4 weeks of gut cleanse, a journey of well-being. And thank you so much for joining in today, and being a part of this session. And thank you everyone.